Find the verses. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om 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 Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om
Hari Om Swamiji.
Hari Om, Hari Om, Hari Om.
Hari Om, Pranam Swamiji.
Pranam, Pranam,
Pranam Swami.
Pranam, Pranam, Pranam. Pranams to everybody. For the past 2-3 weeks now, especially before the Guru Purnima day, somehow when he gave us the prompting to intensify our inward journey, he prompted also to take up Mauna session. Now he has slowly introduced 15 minutes Mauna every day. So during our satsang period also, the same topic is brought out in different facets. If we try to understand why the same thing is being hammered, we couldn't get any answer. Then one answer could be, suppose you are taking up something on online education, say mathematics or grammar or some language, or you say Bhagavad Gita. What do? You take up the same subject, because the idea is it should go deep within. The same text we must be having in our shelf. But if we don't read, if at all we read, we may not be able to understand. So now also we take it that Papa is very earnest that the time has come for all of us to intensely go inward and then to identify his words in Quest of God is find ourselves in a state of complete identification and union with Ram. In spite of all these things, he is still a distant reality, outside. I am there, I call myself a devotee or a sadhaka, and he is separate. No. Papa will not leave us until we declare. What do we declare? By a complete surrender to the will of Ram, we lose consciousness of the body, which keeps us aloof from him, and find ourselves in a state of complete identification, union with him, who is in us and everywhere around us. Every word, every page of his book, when we revisit, new dimensions. And unless and until we get some clarity about this, we will be groping on the surface. We may be chanting outwardly. We may be doing so many disciplines. But the vital aspect is, whose name I am chanting? We repeat Papa's word. We are chanting the name of one who is within us, who is making me to chant. But have we understood? So in this connection, yesterday we were just going through Gandhiji's words, There are a lot of similarities between Gandhiji's expression and Papa's expression. We find God is defined as subtle and mysterious power by Gandhiji also. This quotation, the truth is that God is the force. He is the essence of life. He is pure, undefiled consciousness. He is eternal. And yet, strangely enough, we are not able to derive either benefit from or shelter in the all-pervading living presence. The truth is that God is the force, the life force, because of which the words are now being uttered. He is the essence of life. He is pure, undefiled consciousness. He is eternal. Yet, strangely enough, we are not able to derive either benefit from or shelter in the all-pervading living presence. And he also clarifies, come. God is not some person outside. The first one is, the truth is that God is the force. He is the essence of life. He is pure, undefiled consciousness. He is eternal, yet, strangely enough, all are not able to derive either benefit from or shelter in the all-pervading living presence. Then he says, God is not some person outside ourselves or away from the universe. He pervades everything and is omniscient as well as omnipotent. Every day, Papa makes us to repeat these words, you remember? Universal prayer. Do we apply our mind? That is important now. He does not need any praise or petitions. Being immanent in all beings, he hears everything, reads our innermost thoughts. He abides in our hearts and is nearer to us than the nails of our fingers. See? God is then not a person. He is the all-pervading, all-powerful spirit. Anyone who hears him in his heart has accession of a marvelous force or energy comparable in its result to physical forces like steam or electricity, but much more subtle. So now we understand why, in spite of doing so many things, still the clarity has not come to us. We are chanting his name, we are repeating Papa's words, we are chanting the name of one who is within us, who is making us to chant, who is our source, Bijam, he is our eternal seed, who has been providing everything right from our seed level up to this moment. All those things we repeat. Because the moment the repetition is over, the sense of individuality stays. So during our Mauna session, during our active session, we have been trying and we have not succeeded, to be very blunt. We have some sentimental, emotional satisfaction, that's all. That's also needed. But at the same time, what is expected of us by our master is we get some glimpse of the reality that is within. So this will help us. At the same time, some confusion may come. Today is Krishnashtami day. Everybody will be joyous to remember Lord Krishna. Rather than what he wanted to convey, we are carried away by whatever he did during his childhood days. Finally, something about what he said in the Bhagavad Gita days. Some Puranas are there. We are happy with that. But to know the real Krishna, so today it should help us also. You know? The other one we will be celebrating so many things. Nice. Not that we should stop. In ashram also we will have special bhajan up to 12 o'clock or something like that. Everybody enjoys. No doubt about it. That enjoyment is not for any personal benefit. We remember in 99, when we went to Uttarkashi, and on that day it was Krishnashtami day. So in Tapovan Kudi, at about 3 o'clock, 4, no, 6 o'clock they started, up to 12 o'clock. Only this mantra. Sri Krishna Sharanam Mama, 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 Sri Krishna Sharanam Mama. When we started chanting, mind you, 6 hours. Initially, think about all the these playful activities, and slowly we try to think about the reality who is named as Krishna. That Krishna stands for what, Then slowly we enter. So then also we thought through the form, when we do it for 3 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours, the same mantra, same tune. Nobody got up. Of course, all are Tivra sadhakas. Everybody closes their eyes. There are some accompaniments, by tabla and harmonium, and it is set to a beautiful tune, and everybody forgot about it, forgot about anything else, and it was joyously, blissfully went through. Okay, gone through. Okay, then what happened then next day? So now we have to add some dimension also while doing all these external. External should be there, We cannot do away with that. We should. In ashram also we have got a minimum, It's not zero ritual. There is an arati there. Morning flower offering is there. We do the paduka cleaning. We take the tirtha there. Even if a petal of a flower, if anybody finds it, immediately they will pick it up. So there is. And there should be. But at the same time, only Papa cautions us, don't stop there. Along with that, you also try to see and these during the Mauna sessions, we are applying our mind because we have put the shutter down, no outer activities. So there won't be any disturbance from outside. Many of you will be surprised to hear that a place about 1 hour drive from here, from Kanyagad Ashram, where it's all village areas. Yesterday, 236 people came there and observed Maun. Maun for how many? From 10 o'clock to 5 o'clock. 7 hours. Just one previous day we went there. Whatever concept God has given us, Papa has given us, we used to share about those things to them about Mauna session. And then it was all beautifully done. We also saw the video. That means so far they have not tried. Many people were telling, will I be able to sit like that? I never knew. It is a clean break from your routine, no? They had reservation whether they will be able to sit for a long time without any. In between, there is walking meditation, seva meditation is also there. But even then, you don't talk. You apply your whole mind on the walking or on what you are doing. So, some sort of self-control, disciplining our mind. So these are all the ways through which we try to feel His presence. At the moment, the mind is running riot. We have no control over it. The moment I open morning, from that particular time till I retire to bed, all my sense organs are in search of sense objects. One after another, one after another, one after another, one after another. So we hardly think about the indwelling reality, who is giving me the energy. But in Mauna session, the shutter is down, no activity outside. So initially it will have some rumblings. That is why it is recommended that we will have mental chanting of Ram Nam for some time. कर लियो मरे तनमा कर ला मैं So this is the advantage. Every day Papa is reminding us the importance of going within. So along with whatever activities we are doing, this should be prioritized. No matter how much time we sit, but we do sit for some time. Then only the dialogue between the sense of individuality and the spirit within, it will start. Because the moment we open, we don't recognize. We are carrying on with our activities. 2-3 days back we were sharing why Papa brought this outpourings in quest of God. Outpourings are nothing but the communication, no? Dialogue between the sense of individuality and the presiding power. Here it's Ram and Ramdas, So this also we wanted to share so that we get more and more clarity. The truth is that God is the force. He is the essence of life. He is pure, undefiled consciousness. He is eternal. And yet, strangely enough, all are not able to derive either benefit from or shelter in the all-pervading living presence. God is not some person outside ourselves or away from the universe. He pervades everything and is omniscient as well as omnipotent. He does not need any praise or petitions. Being immanent in all beings, he hears everything, reads out innermost thoughts. He abides in our heart, is nearer to us than the nails of our fingers. God is then not a person. He is the all-pervading, all-powerful spirit. Anyone who hears him in his heart has accession of a marvelous force or energy, comparable in its result to physical forces like steam and electricity, but much more subtle. Papa here says, to strive to approach and understand Ram is to recede from the world of vanishing forms. This we can interpret it as Mauna session. To recede from the world of vanishing forms, because Ram is the only truth, the only reality. Ram is a subtle and mysterious power that pervades, sustains the whole universe. Birthless and deathless is He. He is present in all things and in all beings, who only appear separate entities due to their ever-changing forms. To wake up from this illusion of forms is to realize at once the unity or love of Ram. Love of Ram means love of all beings, all creatures, all things in the world. Because Ram is in all is in Ram, Ram is all in all. To realize this great truth, we, who through ignorance feel as separate individuals, should submit ourselves to the will and working of the infinite power, that infinite love Ram, who is one and all-pervading. By a complete surrender to the will of Ram, we lose consciousness of the body, which keeps us aloof from Him, and find ourselves in a state of complete identification and union with Him, who is in us, everywhere around us. Anybody would like to say anything? Even if they say,
Krishna consciousness to be within.
eh?
Today, Krishna consciousness to be within.
To be with Him. All of you know that Lord Krishna was the chosen deity of Papa. He was finding comfortable with that form. He has elaborately explained about that form at the feet of God. And later on, he prayed to him. What did he pray? When you come to me in the form, you go, after some time you go away. I want that which stays with me always, in your Vishwarupa. So you showed it to Arjuna, na? You are there in the form of whole universe. I want that. So when we read that, through the form, we are trying to understand the formless, and again retain our worship to the form, but not getting stuck to it. That's all. There are so many aspects about Lord Krishna's, form. His personal life is full of tragedy, but what he gave to others was full of joy. When he was born, it was in a prison. No? He was denied to be with his parents, so he had to be taken out. And so many times, he was passing through stressful period. Shakadasura, this asura, that asura. And finally then, when he wanted to settle down in a married life, he had to abduct his wife and go away. And then when he was trying to lead a peaceful life, Pandavas asked them to join. Then he became the mediator. And then there also he had to bear all insults, and finally he became the driver. And then after it was over, he thought my mission is over. He went back to Dwaraka. There he found his all people fighting each other, killing each other. And then finally he was resting. Somebody came and shot the arrow. And he had to drop the body. See, right from the beginning, as an individual, it is full of struggle. But we don't remember any of these things. Full of fun, full of bliss. Wonderful message, Whatever may be my private, whatever that goes out from me should be for the benefit of all. With that perspective, you look at the Puranas. First lesson. He was playing Gopikas, everything. But when the moment came, he detached himself thoroughly from them. Then he did not go back at all to Mathura. Height of detachment, Think. Different facet. Today is a day we can remember all those things. Compared to our life, what are the things that we would like to remember? So when we say Krishna consciousness and the great celestial music, the Bhagavad Gita.
Uddhava also to be taken into account.
Yeah. Uddhava Gita is class by itself. And he presents, Lord Krishna presents before us a combination of bhakti and jnana. Krishna Leela. And especially, yes, you are right. We cannot forget a few words of Lord Krishna to Uddhava, Uddhava to Lord Krishna. We will read a few lines. He gives a lecture. He was about to drop the body, so he told Uddhava, I am leaving. Uddhava, not only friend, so it was difficult for him to accept with all the philosophic background. Because he was attached to that form also. That is another lesson. Then how Lord Krishna enabled him to free himself from that attachment. Uddhava says, overlooking the ridicule of friends and relatives, casting aside. Uddhava answered, "This is too difficult for me." He was some tall talk, Lord Krishna was telling. "O Lord, I see that what you say is true, but the mind is weak. I may not be able to put this jnana into practice. Knowledge alone is not enough without the wisdom to practice. Teach me a simpler path." The Blessed Lord replied, "These are all wonderful guidance for all of us. Until the consciousness that all beings are my manifestation has been assimilated in the mind, one should commune with me through external worship and action. Until. By doing this, a devotee gains the knowledge by which he perceives everything as Brahman. Of all methods of spiritual discipline, the best according to me is to practice seeing my presence in everything through the functioning of the three instruments of the body, the mind, speech, and action. This is the essence of Bhagavata Dharma." Again, it goes on. So he says, do some puja. So Uddhava then asks, what should I do if I am in a desert where not even water is available? With what will I worship you then? Lord smiled, as long as the water in your eyes are there. As long as your water in your eyes have not dried up, my friend, do not fear. One drop from my devotee's eyes is more precious to me than the costliest diamond. One drop from my devotee's eyes is more precious to me than the costliest diamond. Uddhava was overwhelmed and his eyes brimmed with tears. Even these things about which you have spoken, it's difficult for me. I may not be able to go on a pilgrimage. I may not be able to offer you worship. The age of Kali is at hand. People have short memories, short lives, and no time to accomplish. Give me then a shortcut that will help me to lead you. Krishna smiled tenderly. Until my advent, O Uddhava, an immersion in the Ganga was supposed to eradicate all sins. But now, an immersion in the holy story of my life is enough to cleanse the sins of 1,000 lifetimes. The ones who listen to the story of my life, who narrate it or explain it to others, will sanctify themselves as well as their listeners. Even if this is too difficult, O Uddhava, take a dip in the flowing river of my names. The chanting of my name alone is enough to attain liberation. My names are not difficult to learn like the Vedic mantras, which are reserved for the favored few. They can be enjoyed and repeated by anyone, regardless of birth or sex. Sweeter than honey is my name, giving bliss to those who utter it as well as those who hear it. It is the ripe, juicy fruit of the Vedas. Like a calf following its mother, I myself will follow the ones who call my name, in order to see that no harm comes to them. Thus, listening to the taste of my life and chanting my name, you will definitely be victorious over death. After studying this discourse, there is nothing more for a spiritual aspirant to inquire about and understand, just as after taking honey, there is nothing sweeter for one to drink. Being thus instructed by the Lord, Uddhava stood speechless for a while, conscious of the great blessing that the Holy One had bestowed on him. With great effort, he controlled his mind, which had been overpowered by emotion, his voice choking with surging waves of love, and his eyes overflowing with tears. He said, "When you have departed from these mortal coils, O Lord, where will I find you? Where will I seek for you?" The Holy One replied, "Go to my temple, so Uddhava. I will be residing there. And if you are in any doubt as to where my temples are situated, I'll tell you, my temples are in the hearts of my devotees.
Gopikas.
My temples are situated in the hearts of my devotees. Therefore, go where my devotees congregate. Wherever you hear my name chanted and my stories recited, there will I be. Therefore, seek me among my devotees, for through them I will ever manifest myself in this world. He is there in everybody equally, but this is very important. Therefore, seek me among my devotees, for through them I will ever manifest myself in this world. Then only we will come to know about it. Uddhava remained silent, speechless with grief at the thought of the imminent parting. The Lord looked at him with infinite tenderness and asked, "My beloved one, have I convinced you? Have you heard enough? Are your doubts cleared?" With sobs choking his voice, eyes brimming with tears, Uddhava spoke, "O Supreme Preceptor, your very proximity has removed my delusion born of ignorance, just as a burning fire dispels the darkness, cold, and fear of those who sit next to it. You have lighted the lamp of knowledge in the dark recesses of my mind. You have ignited the unquenchable flame of your divine name in my heart. You have broken asunder my strong bond of attachment to my kinsman. You have permeated my entire being so that nothing other than you exists for me anymore. What can I offer you, who have given me my all? What gift can I place you before you, who are the giver of all gifts? Therefore, do I place myself as an offering at your lotus feet. O Lord, I have nothing else to give you." So saying, he prostrated full length before that soul of compassion. Catching hold of his lotus feet, he cried out, "Prostrations to you, O Master Yogi! I have surrendered at your lotus feet. I have no other refuge but you. Bless me with deep and undying devotion to these your feet. Wherever I may wander, whatever I may do, let my mind run to you every second, every minute, and feel for you that love which is eternal, indestructible." Uddhava lay on the ground like a fallen log, unable to rise up, unable to do anything but bathe the Lord's feet with his tears. The Holy One laid his hands firmly on the bowed head, blessed him. He then gently helped him to rise up, gave his final instructions to him. "O Uddhava, I direct you to go to the famous place of pilgrimage in the Himalayas known as Badrikashram, which is especially sanctified by my presence. There flows the river Alagananda, the very sight of which is purifying. Wearing clothes made of bark, subsisting on roots and fruits, free from all desires for worldly enjoyments, live without caring for the extremes of climate, putting up patiently with all the adverse situations that might confront you. Ponder deeply in solitude over that which I have taught you. With speech and thought, ever absorbed in me, live according to the dictates of the Bhagavata Dharma I have taught you, and you will quickly pass through these material realms, attain to my transcendental state." Instructed thus, Uddhava circumambulated his dearest master, placed his head once more at his feet. Though his mind had transcended the three gunas, the thought of leaving his beloved master, going to Badrinath, produced such waves of agony in his heart that it expressed itself in torrential tears, which flowed down his cheeks, washed the Lord's holy feet. With his mind stricken at the thought of the imminent separation from his dearest Lord, he found it impossible to move from that place, and stood rooted on the spot, gazing piteously at the well-loved vase, as he could not bear to tear his eyes away from it. The Lord, understanding his predicament, "Dearer to me than my sons, dearer to me than my wives, are you, Uddhava, for you are the shining examples of a Jnana Bhakta. You have fettered me to yourself with the bonds of your intense love. Yet the time has now come for our bodies to part, for they are made of the five elements and must return to them. So go, my faithful friend, and do as I have instructed you. Seeing Uddhava still reluctant, he continued, "In my previous incarnation as Rama, when I had to part from my beloved brother Bharata, I had given him my footwear. Like you, he could not bear to be parted from me. Now I will give them to you, my dear friend, for they have been attached to my feet, the ultimate goal of all devotees. Take them, therefore, and proceed to Badrigashrama, for I have no further use for them." Reverentially, Uddhava accepted this precious gift. With tears streaming from his eyes, he addressed them, "O divine Padagas, do not think too harshly for me for being the cause by which you have been forced to separate from his lotus feet. Forgive me. Taste once more of the supreme perfume of those tender feet and let us depart." So saying, he placed them once more tenderly beneath the Lord's blessed feet, and then holding them with great reverence on his head, he circumambulated that divine presence once more, with eyes blinded by tears. He tore himself away from with many a backward glance. Only now did he experience the bitter anguish suffered by the gopis of Vrindavan so many years ago, when he turned around for the last time. He saw Krishna's eyes following him. And for the first time he saw a glimmer of tears in those lustrous eyes. He ran back, fell at his feet once more. The Lord said nothing. Gently placed his foot on Uddhava's bent head, thus passed on to him the supreme wisdom. Then tenderly he lifted up his face, placed his lips on his forehead, gently turned him round toward the direction in which he had to go. Uddhava was filled with an inexpressible joy, and he felt replete. At the end of the path, he turned around, saw the Lord shining from afar, and heard a gentle music playing in the air. Up in the sky he saw celestial beings folding their palms in adoration. An ineffable peace stole into the heart of the beatific vision. So filled his being that he felt as if there were no differences between him and Krishna. The divine beings were singing hymns in praise. Without any conscious volition, without feeling the heavy burden of his body, Uddhava, the great Bhakta, proceeded northern and reached the holy shrine of Badrigashram. So here, when Papa said, identification with him, he used that word. And find ourselves in a state of complete identification, union with Ram, So that is why probably to make us understand, he made us to go through these words. And before we close, we would like to read the last portion of this book, Cosmic Play, the Saguna and the Nirguna aspect. I bow to the playful form of that child who has incarnated himself to fulfill the cosmic purpose, and who, though completely uninvolved, gives the appearance of being totally involved in this dance drama of his own creation. Why does the Brahman, the immutable, the eternal, the ineffable, manifest himself? Why and how does this non-dual become dual? Advaita proclaims that duality is only an illusion, all is Maya. Brahman alone exists. That alone is Nitya, all else is Mithya. Once that is realized, the world of dualities will cease to exist. The Puranas, however, give a sweeter explanation. Lord Narayana is the Supreme Person. equivalent to Brahman, and this creation is his Leela, his play, the cosmic game. He is pictured as lying on his serpent couch with his consort, Lakshmi sitting at his feet with eyes half closed, immersed in bliss. From this abode of peace, he decides to incarnate himself in order to enjoy his own creation. He takes on many incarnations, but his incarnation as Krishna is the exciting climax. A burst of joyful laughter, as it were, exploring the frailties and beauties of his own creation, admiring its grandeur, plumbing the heights and depth of its meaning, sometimes flouting his own laws, sometimes obeying, for he is the Purushottama, the Supreme Being, who possesses both the immutable unity and mobile multiplicity. Lord Narayana is Satchit Ananda, existence, knowledge, bliss, and his incarnation as Krishna is the expression of his Ananda or bliss. Because of it, all creation is possible. Because of his play, because of his delight, because of his sweetness. Krishna is the incarnate divinity of love. He is the essence of the love of the divine for the divine. For the Jiva is also divine, and only the divine is capable of loving the divine with a love that is also divine. Krishna is the Supreme's eternal, infinite, immortal self-play, self-issuing, self-manifesting, self-finding. The blue boy of Vrindavan is the Lord descended into the world to play from the divine Ananda. The call of his flute seeks to transform the lower, ignorant drama of mortal life into this divine Amrita Ananda. Those who are deaf to this enchanting call of love may be forced to listen to the crack of the whip of Kurukshetra, but to the seer, that is another aspect of his love. If he appears to break the established human molds, it is only in order to create new molds from higher planes, and for this he has to shock the sleeping mind of humanity in order to change, liberate, divinize it. He is perfect love, perfect beauty, giving rise to perfect delight, the complete revelation of Satchit Ananda in mortal frame. If this is Krishna, then what about the Jivas? Why and how did they manifest? Are they not divine and therefore part of the game? Why then do they not realize that it is a game? Why do they have to suffer and sin and laugh and cry? Why does the beggar not realize that he is in truth the divinity clothed in tatters? The Puranas declare that the whole of life is indeed the Leela of Lord, in which he himself is the hero and the villain, the actor and the audience, the director and the producer, the song and the silence, and even the very stage on which the drama is enacted. The Puranas declare that the whole of life is indeed the Leela of the Lord, in which he himself is the hero and the villain, the actor and the audience, the director and the producer, the song and the silence, even the very stage on which the drama is enacted. It is by a large mobilization of his Prakriti, his energy, his will, power, that he manifests himself in all this multiplicity. But then the question arises as to why he allows himself to get caught in the web of his own creation. Can the spider be trapped in its own web? The explanation is simple. The best actors are those who can completely immerse their private lives in the personality of the character they are portraying. So also in the cosmic drama, the supreme actor has to forget his true nature, allow himself to be caught in the web of his own Maya, if he is to completely and satisfyingly enact the different roles. He becomes the king on the throne, beggar in the street, murderer about to be hung, and the victim lying in a pool of blood, as well as the judge pronouncing judgment in the court. He is the solo actor, the solo enjoyer, the only experiencer, oblivious of his divine origin, submerged in the role. He is playing, laughing, crying, dancing, singing, living, and dying. The Avatara comes in order to free the Jiva from this complicated web of divine origin enable it to realize its own nature. Fortunate are those who happen to catch the lilting strains of his sweet music emanating from his magic flute. For them, the mundane world ceases to charm, and like the gopis of Vrindavan, they run in rapture to that enchanter of the forest, forgetting everything spellbound by the form of the Lord of love and beauty, Shama Sundara Manamohana Vanamali. Advaita seeks for the indefinable existence beyond personalities, but the devotee of Krishna sees in him that indefinable personality. By adoring him, by union with him, the jiva can come to enjoy its own divine status. This is the promise made by him to Uddhava and Arjuna. Only then does the beggar realize that he was in truth the king who had taken the role of a mendicant. Then the cosmic drama comes to a close, curtain falls, the actor, director, audience remains in blissful, enraptured consciousness of himself as Sat Chit Ananda. This is the cosmic play, the play of God, inexplicable, tantalizing, adorable. Samarpanam at the lotus feet of Vanamali, the producer, director, sole actor of the whole drama. We read out from a book called Sri Krishna Leela. It's a classic. Classic means classic. Lord blessed her with that devotion. No? That is why every word when we pass through, it touches our heart. It is not merely the language. She has poured her devotion into it. And that is why the moment you read, you get touched.
We are blessed with Swamiji's dispositions.
Yeah. So these are all the things that come up. So back again, we should not be. We should also think about why we have been prompted to take to this inward journey. So inward journey is an opportunity given to us to go through everything intensely without any disturbance from outside. Now we pray to Papa, kindly enable us. Enough is enough. Enable us
Swamiji,
to...
Mobile multiplicity means avatars.
Not only avatar.
Am I correct?
Not only avatar. He is the static as well as the dynamic,
Dynamic.
Silence is static. Sound is dynamic.
Yes. Yes. Hari Om, Hari Om.
Hari Om, Hari Om. So let us all try to eke out the maximum out of it. And from tomorrow onwards, tomorrow we are going to Chennai. And then we'll be there for 2-3 days. And from there we go to Bombay. And on third night or fourth morning, we leave for South Africa. We will be away for 2-3 weeks. By the end of next month, that is September, we hope to be back. We will try. We are not sure whether the Wi-Fi connections are available there. If it is available, till we leave Bombay, probably we may be able to keep up our schedule. Because day after tomorrow we will be in Bombay, Chennai, no? Chennai. So it might be possible.
Swamiji, can I see you in Bombay?
Bombay, we are there only for a day or two. First we are reaching by evening. Second and third, yes, we are there. We are not going anywhere. You are back to Bombay?
Yes, Swamiji, today.
Okay. So we will be there on second and third. Third night only we leave for the airport. So when we reach South Africa, we will check up whether facilities are available. If it is available, we will be in touch. We will inform. And then you can pass on. There are also, wherever we go, there are 3 places or 4 places they have identified. Apart from the usual satsang every day, one day will be there for Mauna. Everywhere. When we shared our experience, everybody is enthused. So they said we also will have one full day. So we will try to share whatever thoughts that come up at that time. In the meantime, just like we have started in ashram, 15 minutes Mauna, we are praying to Papa now, every day you bless us at least 10 or 15 minutes where we try to go within. So you have given us so many all these years. But in order to make use of it fully, we have to pull the shutter down at least for a few minutes every day, and then try to have the stock taking, and then so that we might get a glimpse of his presence. He is there, he is there. We have now been waiting. He is there, he has been there. Right from the seed stage up to this moment, he is there in us, he has been with us. But we must have a glimpse of his presence. And we don't have much time. Everybody is hearing?
Yes, Swami.
We are not only
Enjoying also, Swami.
we are not only in the evening, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock. We don't know when the call will come. So before he allows us to drop the body, we must have a glimpse of his presence within. With that bhavana, enough is enough. I must have a glimpse of your presence within. Then even if I have not been able to do
You have goaded us to this stage that we pray for only that.
You must bless so that we pray only for that.
Only that. Enough is enough. Enough is enough. You gave us everything, whatever we want. But this is something which I have not probably intensely asked. Now you should give me, like that, Just like children keep on harping, to parents to buy something. Even if we forget half a dozen times, they will remind us, They will pester us, they will drag us, So like that, we should do the same technique with him. Not leaving him until he turns our face towards him. So let this be predominant in our heart from today onwards, okay? Okay then. Hari Om. Om Shri Ram. Jai Ram. Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram. Jai Ram. Jai Jai Ram. Om. Oh. Hari Om, Hari Om. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Om
Shri Ram.
Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. She was also hearing, Benji. Good. Hari Om, Hari Om. Hari Om, Hari Om, Hari Om. Hari Om.
Hari Om, Pranam.
Pranam. Pranam. Pranam.